Can you share a recent experience where the MACH has shown a positive impact in the metallurgical operation?
I think there's no better feeling than going into a situation with very, very little background information and then emerging victorious on the other side, way beyond client expectations. And we've had one of those experiences recently with the application of the MACH reactor on a gold leach plant in Turkey. And they were treating semi-refractory arsenopyrite ore, not the easiest type of material to leach through a plant. And they seemed to be quite oblivious to this challenge. It was quite a funny one because the client's expertise is actually in base metals, not in gold. And this is the first gold plant that they were actually doing on their own, building and operating on their own. And you may think, wow, what a disadvantage. But actually, for this project and in this instance, it actually worked very much to our advantage because for once, we didn't have to deal with those preconceived ideas that people had, those learnings from the past which you try to get them to unlearn in order to teach them the new things of the MACH. We didn't have any of that. It was an absolutely clean slate. It was a sort of a clean white sheet of paper that we had to work on. And we were able to work very well with that and grant them a performance guarantee. They were quite demanding in what they wanted, and it's because they really didn't know the area of gold, the sector of gold, and they asked for a performance guarantee, which was a whole interesting process on its own. Because I thought it was just me sending them an email saying, sure, you can get 2% extra recovery. It was a lot more than that. I had to go to the bank. We had to set aside cash, certain funds had to be set aside, etc. And the negative of that would be if we went ahead and installed the MACH, and if they didn't get that recovery that I promised, then they had the right to actually take that cash. So we had incentive to make it work, that's for sure. That's for sure. And it was the first time ever in the history of gold ore that we had to provide such a performance bond. So it was interesting to say the least. But as luck would have it and as Murphy would have it, everything went smoothly, actually. The MACH reactors were successfully commissioned remotely. Gold ore didn't actually go onto site. It was all done via WhatsApp and video call, etc., etc. We got it all commissioned, and the project was actually signed off within a 3-month period. And it was soon evident that the recovery benefit was going to be way in excess of the 2% that we had guaranteed. So I had a very, very happy client, to say the least. And this is a typical example of how one can achieve great things if you have that open mindset and if you're really willing to embrace technology like the MACH and work with the suppliers of the technology to get you there. So a real success story. In the end, would have made many a seasoned gold plant operator green with envy. What this client achieved, zero experience.
Amazing. So you almost wish you had that performance bond the other way around, whatever we exceed by.
yes, and the attorneys tell me that it usually does work that way. So when there's a performance bond that will sort of, where you may get penalized if you don't achieve something, there's normally a converse to that. If you overperform or if you deliver in excess of what you promise, that you actually get a bonus for that. It can be structured that way. But in this instance, we're dealing with really seasoned businessmen. They wouldn't hear anything about that.